What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing on this beautiful day? Grandmaster for Rich Rising, back at it again with another one. Today's conversation is going to be about qualities of a good man and qualities of a good woman, and what to overall seek for when you are in a relationship, seeking for a relationship, on the mission to focusing on yourself, and you just so happen to attract a relationship, or you have, interest in a woman or a man, and what are qualities to seek for, to know that this is the one. This is the one for you. Yeah, so I see you guys having all the good you desire. And today's going to be a great day. We expect great things to happen for us today. This conversation is going to touch bases on qualities of a good man first. And then we're going to get into qualities of a good woman afterwards. And the characteristics and expectations. I guess expectations, right?
Not expectations.
Not expectations?
Mm-mm.
Just qualities to seek for?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like requirements.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, traits of a good man.
Go ahead.
Point number one will be a man of vision. A good man who has a purpose is driven by a vision of his life. Before I got in my relationship, and even in the midst of the relationship, I've always had the ability and power of focusing on a vision, wanting something beyond what I was receiving. Where you going, lady?
I'll be back. I'm...
What in the skibbity paps? So qualities of a good trait of a good man is number one, a man with vision. I think it is crucial, and I think it's divinely given and divinely bestowed upon us to have vision. A man without vision will perish. I've had friends, I've had associates, I've had people I've run into and had conversations, and I realized that not everybody is on the same wavelength when it comes to having vision and purpose, right?
Yeah.
And I think the big point of perspective on this is having vision and purpose is mainly the best part and the best version of you enhancing your qualities as a man. Point number two, traits of a good man is a man of leadership. Developing the qualities, principles, and patterns and practices of a leader is something to observe, something to acquire, something to apply.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding the structure of leadership is also something to also focus on, practice, read, take notes, and implement in the day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I believe we talked about the last forms of leadership, and in speaking about leadership, I believe that it's not something to say that I'm going to be a leader because I want to control people. This is not a good leader. I want to be a leader because I want to empower people. It's the attributes of a good leader. I want to be able to let them know what I'm doing is no different from what they're doing, right? Or what I'm doing is no different from their abilities to be able to do what I can do. We're both in one and the same. That's just making more action than one others, right? And so basically drawing the fine line to this is what you can do in order to get where I'm at, right? Leadership takes responsibility for his actions and leads with integrity. Integrity is everything.
Yeah, we got New York in the building.
New York in the building. Integrity is everything, man. I feel like establishing relationships, even businesses, um, conducting business, having clients. There's a way you should show up when you're engaging and saying that you're a person to be trustworthy
Yeah.
of. You're a
Right.
business to be trustworthy of.
Mm.
I recently inquired a business that I realized that was not a facility of integrity, was not a brand of integrity.
Mm.
And how did I discover that? One of those traits was on fine documentation. It stated this was an agreement and this was going to be given. When
Yeah.
the time of the due date came to be, they did not uphold the agreement that was on paper. So we had to take legal terms in order to receive the promise, right? But it was the principle and the fact of integrity. You said you were going to do what you're going to do. Why do we have to go through the extravaganza of,
Extravagance.
yeah, like it was the extravaganza of acquiring something that was solidified in your paperwork, on your paper.
Yeah.
And so that gave me very moments of clarity that this business and this brand is not of integrity and I don't ever want to do business with them.
Right.
So how you conduct yourself and how you show up is always a high level of respect, right? Like you want respect, you gotta earn respect. When you say
You
you're gonna
gotta
do what
give
you're gonna do what you're gonna do, right? What'd you say?
I was saying, you gotta give respect.
You gotta give respect in order to receive respect or get or obtain respect. Hey guys, what up? Blake in the building. Blakey, Blake.
Who's Blake? Oh.
Right there at the bottom. Blake Roberts. Point number 3. Traits of a good man is a man of work. And I'm not talking about your regular mojo, getting the job, aspect. I'm talking about work as far as in working on the vision of God, working on the they say your job is what you use as your, what do they call it, occupation, right? But the work is what you do beyond that point. The work is what you impact the world with, right? You've heard a lot of those tales and those stories where people was hustling at a job, which I call the investor, right? They was hustling at a job, but they was working on the work. They was working on the vision, right? And they end up leaving that job and end up catapulting this brand of work on impacting the world, right? Impacting the communities, impacting people on whatever their significant vision was on expanding, right?
Yeah.
Their purpose. So a man should be able to establish his work before seeking a relationship. I do believe that this is valuable, right?
It is.
Seeking your work before you get into relationships allows you to have direction.
Yeah. And it allows you to know what exactly it is that you want as well.
Yes.
What are you looking for?
Yes.
What are your values?
Women respect men with vision, right? Women respect men who work. And I'm not talking about, again, your traditional aspect of work, right? I'm not talking
Mindset.
I'm talking about the work within. When she knows that you are divinely guided by the hand of God on a mission to be of legendary, to be of legacy, to be of representation of something bigger than oneself, right? And so in the beginning of Genesis, where God gave Adam work before Eve, established a foundation of purpose,
Yeah.
right? Established a foundation of this man is not on the land to just exist. This man is not on the land to just folly around, right? I like the word folly.
Folly.
Yeah, folly. You know what folly is? Folly is like, prancing.
I don't know if there's too much. There's a lot of lights in this house, but I feel like my eyes are.
No, but folly is like
I
prancing.
feel like I need to close my eyes a little bit.
No, it's okay. It's all a part of your mind.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. But yeah, folly
What
is
folly?
like prancing, running, trotting. It's kind of like,
Like jolly.
yeah, but you're like free, free minded. Like when people go downtown and they be drunk and they be that's folly right there. That's a form of folly.
You don't have no
Right.
worries.
No, I don't even want to call it worries. It's
Hakuna
more
Matata.
nowhere to go, drifting. But so yeah, basically know your work, man. Know what's the big part of what you're doing,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
if I ask you like, yo, what's the work? So I'd be like, peace God at work when this dude. I had two people do it to me so far. I'll be like, peace God, and two of the individuals who are present in the moment, they were like, what's the mathematics? I don't know if you seen the Wu-Tang one day when I was watching Wu-Tang Clan, and
Maybe.
the dude was walking through the park, and those dudes with the I don't want to even call it kufi. They wasn't kufis. They was more of like the I forgot.
I
what
don't
the-
know. I can't remember that. But,
Yeah. He was like,
probably-
yo, no disrespect, son, but we ain't on that. He was like, yo, what's today's mathematics? And he was like, I should fear no evil. Any negative energy coming to my cipher, I was like basically dismantling it and keeping your frequency and everything in alignment with God while you
Yeah.
move through, the world. Go
Okay.
ahead.
We had
Like damn.
we have a comment from Krista. Krista
Alright.
said, "I don't know why or what it may mean to you, but keep doing what you both are called to do. You both inspire me to shift into purpose with my husband."
Oh,
That is
what's up.
amazing.
High five.
That is amazing.
That's
We
awesome.
appreciate,
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you.
Yes, we do.
And yeah, I hope you achieve the goals with your
Yeah.
husband and so on and so forth. Whatever it is that you wish for, whatever the purpose is.
Yeah. And we hope that this
Move
information
forward, yeah.
is a blessing to your life, and you are able to take action and focus on the next best thing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We're finishing up on point 3, which is man of works. What's good traits of a man? Man of works, and not a man that works at a traditional job, but a man that works for the vision of God, works for and
Ooh.
represents the
Okay.
vision of God, right?
Well
And what
said.
is the vision of God? The vision of God is those ideas, traits, and beliefs and visions that seem to be sometimes impossible, but if
Yeah.
work towards them and work on the smaller aspects to develop oneself to then seek to accomplish these visions, then you won't be able to ever see what could have been done, right? So this is what I mean when I say the works. Point number 3.
Light, real quick.
Turn off the lights. Boom,
My eyes are
boom.
just like.
And light a candle. See, we gotta position ourselves back on here to where the logo is seen.
I think it's better now. Shit.
Anyways, getting back to it. Point number 4, a man who cultivates, right? Cultivation is everything. I use cultivation in the term when I say we don't raise children, we cultivate them. You raise cattle, right? Raising cattle is a perspective that says, what do you do to raise cattle? Well, you do minor. You feed them, you take them outside,
Right.
I guess you train them, you clean them, you do basic stuff. When some women in America kind of like say like, I raised my kids, and they do the base stuff, right? They do. I don't want to shit on the community of women. I want to say that in certain impoverished neighborhoods, they believe that if a man is not in the picture and they think that they're raising their children, they are doing the base model of, I am just taking care of you so you sustain whatever else, but there is no actual cultivation of the mind, body, and spirit.
Right. Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I think those are important aspects when we understand separating. You're not raising your children. You only raise animals. Like, we have a dog here. We don't have to do the cultivation of her. Like, she doesn't need that. She already has internal compass of nature that helps. All we need to do is make sure she goes outside. She don't do what we don't want her to do. And that she eats, sleep, has a place to sleep. Things like that, right? Like, it's basic stuff. So we just got to be very careful. It's a great way.
It's an interesting way to put it.
Cultivation. A man of cultivation nurtures and helps those around him, right? Especially his wife and children.
And
right?
they grow.
Correct. But in order for him to be able to be of cultivation, he has to already acquire the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to be able to do so. Without those attributes, what would he be able to cultivate?
Yeah.
And how would he even know what to cultivate? So seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all of its righteousness and all of his righteousness. All right. His righteousness means the laws, the divine laws of the king, the divine laws of the kingdom, the divine laws of the government. If you're not aware of the divine and the natural laws of the government, then you are a fool, right? Then you are unaware. What makes a wise man is a wise man who understands the laws of the king. All right? You got it? All right?
What was that about?
I don't know. I'm just trying to break the solid, this you know, trying to super slice.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right.
And do your thing.
Point number 5. Qualities and good traits of a man.
Who protects.
A man who protects. It doesn't necessarily mean you got to walk around on the hip with the Glock 49, Glock 9mm, you know what I'm saying? Right. AK-47. So no, nobody even use those AK-47s no more. We on to doing better things. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that is what protection means, right? A man of protection is a safeguard, right?
Yeah.
It means he not only protects them mentally, spiritually, but he shows them physically, right? He's also equipped himself to understand how to manage and tap into the intuitive nudges, right? Intuition, right? And teaches them just the awareness of how to even access the realm. What does it look like, right? Safeguard his family, emotions, spiritually and physically. And I didn't even see that, honestly. Do you know that? I just really went off the top of the dome when I seen safeguard. That's all. Oh, that's crazy. But look, long story short, to acquire them, right? One of the goals that me and my wife are working towards right now is taking martial art classes. Yeah, because my nose. Taking martial arts classes together. And the reason why is because I feel like it's in an area that is unsaturated in, right? It's an experience worth having to expand in new growth. Right. For us to be in the ring and for us to like maybe session and cipher together on the ring with like doing jiu-jitsu and things like that and sparring and things like that will allow us to connect in a different way.
Yeah, experiencing new things.
Right. And then also it's in combat form too, so I'm able to tell her like, oh, okay, it's a nice kick or whatever, and you know, get to a certain point where we can tussle as though we dancing, right? And I'm not talking about like striking her or nothing like that. I'm just talking about like tussle as far as like we dancing, you know? There's a way to spar without causing physical harm.
Yeah.
But I also want her to be equipped as well as oneself, right? Equipped with, if ever in a situation you're able to maneuver, you're able to think in this department of safety, protection, and execution.
Yeah.
right? Point number 6. Traits of a good man is a man who provides.
You're moving fast, huh?
I am moving so fast, isn't I? Isn't I?
think
Isn't I?
The traits of a good woman is gonna be done tomorrow.
Really?
Looking at the time, yeah.
I should move faster.
You reminded me of that thing that trending thing that they do. The parents, the dads, when they I'll show you. It's a short.
It's a guy who like. No. Okay. Oh. All right.
It's a short. I'll show you.
All right. So.
It's a short video.
Traits of a good man is a man who provides. It ensures that his household is taken care of financially and emotionally, right? I think registering the emotional aspect is one of the biggest things that we as men fall short on and are becoming fantastically aware of now these days.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about emotionally as far as in like, oh, well, I'm sorry to hear this, right? Like, no, I mean more emotionally of engagement. Like, I understand that there's something going on and I'm able to understand and conversate and converse with my wife on a level of acknowledging where she's at.
Yeah.
Right? And being able to not always have an answer, right? But being able to be a listener and show that I am here within what you're going through. And the same for my daughter, right?
Yeah.
There's times when she's crying about something in the past and I'm just like, not having it. Not giving you any love about it. I think you just need to dust your shoulders off, go and brush your shoulders off. Hey, this is pimp dude, right? And then move on, right? Because I'm like, this is not what you should be doing. But I've learned at some point in times that I need to go to her, give her a hug, give her a kiss, let her know, give her some like a little spiel, right? Like, hey, whatever's going through right now is too shall pass. Remember, whatever that comes to mind, but being there emotionally as far as not always being a rock, And I think that helps because that's what I've learned from my father, right? My dad he was a rock, but he was also loving, right? And I have to remind myself when I'm dealing with my children.
What did you learn from your mom? I'm sorry to cut you off.
My mom was the rock, bro. She was the rock too. Yeah. But I learned a lot. I learned more street smarts and interacting with the world through her. When it came to like making phone calls and switching up personalities and how to talk, like, I guess I would say proper. I learned that from her, like from being able to switch within characters and conduct business. Because I watch other people who are in the environment, and then when they get on the phone, they still sound like the environment. So that the level of respect drops tremendously because now you're not able to have a civilized conversation without you conducting yourself this way. This is the only character that you have, and you're not able to switch through characters, right? So, point number 7. Traits of a good man is having character.
Yeah.
Character involves integrity, honesty, and faithfulness, right? Which are keys to markers of strong men, right? So faith and integrity.
Yeah. I'm focused on this thing. Like, I'm even looking at it.
Playing a video game and everything.
I'm almost playing a video game, but it does give me that video game vibe. I was just like looking at it. I was like, I'm stuck. I'm like, what the heck am I doing?
Stuck in a zone. She ain't got nothing to say about what's happening. Why? You can put all your focus over there. Anyways, so a man of integrity, and a man of faithfulness, man. I think in hard times, you got to have faith as a man. And if you have a family, you definitely got to require faith, man. You got to acquire faith in a way that is unmovable, right? Unshakable. Because when everybody else is like, oh, everything's going to shit, what are you going to do? You want to entertain them and be like, I feel the same way. And then y'all all feel helpless. And I really believe that really focusing on strengthening your faith with God and strengthening your faith that things are always going to work out regardless of the dark times, it's a powerful it's a powerful stance to make.
Strengthening your faith is also means that when things come, you're strong enough to say no. You know, when things that are pushing you to the negative, you're strong enough to say, this is where I'm going. This is my direction.
Right.
That's why you have to be strong on your vision. That's why you have to be strong in things that you want or who you want to be.
Right. And you know, here's another aspect. When I was listening to the story of Job, God was, testing Job, and it was like the reason for the test and the reason why you go through it and the reason why God allowed Lucifer to be able to take everything from Job was no matter what these things that surround me, just because they disappear and dissipate, my representation and my purpose is to demonstrate none of these things matter. Even in the times of darkness, I'm going to represent that I still believe. Right? Because the battle is not about the physical realm. The battle is about the spiritual realm. And although we love to experience the things of the physical realm, remember that you can't take none of this stuff with you. Doesn't mean not to want to acquire the things, but it also works like this. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and your rights as a citizen of the kingdom, and all these things, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all the righteousness and all the promises of the king and your citizenship as a kingdom citizen, and as well as the Constitution.
Yeah.
Become aware with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in the kingdom and his righteousness, meaning I abide as a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. I know the rights of the king. I know the rights I know the divine rights, and I know the laws. I know the natural laws of the king. So I am able to share this wisdom and share the knowledge and be able to maneuver with the laws that are already governed around where I exist. And as long as I understand that God is a God of laws, all the laws going to work for me, right? Everybody talks about law of attraction, gravity, the law of what is it? I know. Law of perspective, the law of perception. I hope these are laws.
I don't know.
I think they are.
If
I remember correctly, but there's 12 universal laws, then you have your natural laws, and then you have the divine laws of God, right? And natural laws, I would say, consider and commingle also with the 12 laws of the universe. I believe is the natural laws as well, if I'm not mistaken. But more the story is still become aware, right? With awareness is always enlightenment, right?
Yeah. Daniel said, before you move on, Daniel said, praise Jesus. Thank you, fam, for brightening my day.
Gratitude and appreciation, all praise to the Most High for even giving us the push and the nudge in your ear too as well. But mainly that, we get on here and we realize it's just not about the views. It's not about, even if we talk to ourselves, it's about what the mission is about. Real talk. Real talk. I think that was a part of too yesterday as well. What I'm saying? But to really mainly focus on go forth, change your mind, which is the word repent. Change your mind to the kingdom thought, kingdom mindset, lordship, kingdomship. Change your mind and preach the gospel that the kingdom is here. Right? The kingdom is here. These are all the things that already exist. Right. People are like, why do bad people are able to obtain wealth? Because they use the laws. And God is a God of laws, so it doesn't matter if you're bad or good. It doesn't really matter. If you know the laws, this is where you become wise. And those who say they are righteous, who say they are saints, who say that they do good stuff and nothing good comes to them, it's because you're ignorant in the laws. You don't apply the laws. You don't seek for the principles, and that is your fault.
Yeah.
He didn't make you stupid. He didn't make you incapable of using your willpower to seek first whatever you desire. You've seeked it in many areas of understanding the white man's game. And I'm sorry to say it like that, but I just want to say it in the way I did say it. But in the game of European, Europa, right? Rome. right? The system that we run in America is based off of a Greek mythology, which is Roman, right? Urupo, Europe. And anybody got something to say about that? You better either agree or you don't disagree. But overall, it's like you got to understand. Like even when you look at colleges, they go off of Greek mythology all day.
You can't play
The
the
frat
game.
houses.
You can't play the game
Game.
if you don't know the rules.
That is it.
So
That's
you
the
got
part.
to learn. You gotta be close to wisdom. You
That
have
is the
to.
part.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, you got to
So
seek it, man. You
yeah.
got to seek it. And so, with that being said, man, that is the aspect. So having the faith and having integrity, meaning, you show up genuinely to want to. It says the things that Jesus sought out from people. Love God
Yeah.
with all your heart, mind, and soul and body, right? And at the same time, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Now, you cannot love your neighbor as you love yourself if you don't understand the gravitas of loving yourself.
Yeah.
The gravitas of loving yourself is to be able to emulate what the traits of loving yourself to your neighbor looks like.
Yeah.
Okay? And that comes with, if I say I'm going to do something for myself.
Australia in the building.
What up, though? Right? If I say I'm going to do,
Australia.
if I say I'm going to do something, or if I feel called to do something and I keep moving towards that, then I'm strengthening the relationship with me and my inner being. And so when I deal with other people outside of my inner self, I'm able to look at them and say, I see you, right? Because I've been there, right?
I see you.
And you're able to, dive in there real deep. Dive in. I know it's a lot. I see the number. I see the numbers. All right. I see the numbers. Leave me alone. All right.
I didn't say
last but
anything.
not least, I could just see it in your eyes.
No,
I can see it in your eyes all the time.
I was just listening to what you were saying. Why are you judging me?
Sorry. Because you be looking at me sometimes and it be that. So it's hard to decipher. God did.
You crazy.
Last but not least, traits of a good man is a man of faith. Right? And I said faithfulness earlier, but I meant faithfulness in a way of what you present and how you represent the kingdom of heaven and how you show up as an ambassador of the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
And how you represent the government's interests. And when I say government, I mean the kingdom of heaven. The government's interest and position on every matter on earth.
Yeah.
Right? That's how you show faithfulness. Right? It doesn't matter my personal opinions. It matters only what the king's position and the interest of the kingdom is focused on. So when people ask me questions about what I feel like and believe and what are my thoughts on homosexuality, whatever the case may be, things, right? I don't have any personal opinion about it. I love people.
Yeah.
But the government says that it is an abomination, right? So I have to stand where the king's position is, right? And that's overall what I believe.
Okay.
So, and point number 8 is a man of faith, which is his relationship with God and how he leads his family spiritually.
He has a relationship with God and how he
Oops,
leads
excuse
his
me,
family.
I just dug up in my nose straight up again.
And how he
There you go.
leads
There you go.
from,
You saw it.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah, his relationship with God. What?
Here you go. He has a relationship with God, and he also leads his family with spiritually. Like he leads his family spiritually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think discipline and family structure and consistency, consistent approach to focusing towards the ideal of discipline towards a specific subject or towards a specific idea is definitely challenging in households if you are a person who is developing the muscle of discipline in other areas. So I want to be very specific in other areas because we all have discipline, right? We are all equipped with having discipline. We show discipline every single day. You show discipline when you get in your car every single day and go to a certain destination. The muscle of you going to the door and grabbing the keys and getting to the car, unlocking it and turning it, that's discipline, man. You wake up, brush your teeth, that's discipline. It's about acquiring discipline in other aspects, right? In other areas that seem more difficult because one has not created the fire, one has not created a new neuron pathway in their brain,
Right.
right? Fire and wire new brain, fire and wire new neurons in the brain cells, right? And I think really that's my point of bringing this to that. So basically, establish a relationship with God, having a tight relationship with God, understanding your position and how you're representing the kingdom of heaven and what you're here on earth to do, right? And I think always being a representative of something bigger than yourself, such as the kingdom of heaven, it puts you in a position where the stuff is on your back, man. You gotta be like, I gotta straighten up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm representing if the government if okay, let me rephrase this. If a brand ambassador, because look, they use brand ambassadors for companies and stuff like that. So if Nike sent you a letter in the mail and they say, "Yo, we want you to represent our clothing. We're gonna send you a box of full apparel. We need you to be here at this certain time over here. We're gonna do a photo shoot, and then we're gonna have you walk down the aisle so everybody can see the new release that we did." Most people are gonna go. They're gonna go do it. They're gonna boom, 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 put everything on, and then they're gonna carry a certain demeanor, right? Naturally, they're gonna carry a certain because they're representing a brand that already seems to have a name for itself.
Yeah.
Right? So they're gonna want to show up because they're gonna think that this is a moment of opportunity. What if they continuously ask me to show up? I need to make sure I'm on my best strut. I need to make sure I'm walking in there confidently.
Yeah.
So I can get them contacts, them connections. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna go down the aisle, and when you walk, you're gonna walk with confidence. You're gonna be like, "Yo, I was chosen to represent." And so when you operate in that mindset and understand that this is just a brand, but we're talking about a whole nation.
Your whole life.
Your whole life beyond
that's
this
what
life.
I'm hearing. I'm basically hearing you saying that that's how you need to be in your daily life. You need to walk like that because you're representing God. You're representing the kingdom, which is a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Don't be walking sluggish.
Don't be walking without no purpose.
Don't be walking without,
Yeah.
With no
She said, pull yourself up.
Yeah,
by your own bootstraps.
Pull yourself up. Yes. Walk in faith.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this has been a missed interaction, and we enjoyed it tremendously. Tomorrow is going to be traits of a good woman. We're going to chime in because we finished the 8 points of traits of a good man and what to seek for. And tomorrow is going to be focused on traits of a good woman, and then we're going to close it all up with overall relationship vision, right? What to expect in a relationship and what to lean towards and focus on and inspire and cultivate and fertilize moving forward for growth in those relationships, right? Because nobody wants to end up in a relationship where there's no growth. Okay.
Thank you guys for the lovely messages that you're sending, and you're welcome, Blake.
God did.
We appreciate you guys.
I know. I
for
read
all the blessings, and we give it. We're receiving it, and then we're giving you blessings as well.
Yes.
Yes.
So with that being said, we see you having all the good you desire, as always, as long as you see it for yourself. Right? Because you are the gateway to you accessing all of the promises. You are the only one who will hold you back or receive it. Whatever you bound on earth shall be bound in heaven. Okay? And so with that being said, go forth in this day. Remember what we spoke about. And everything we speak about all the time, right? Because, things in life are going to happen. Right. And there's nothing you can do about it outside of maintaining your faith, maintaining your belief that, this is a moment for building character.
I got this. Yeah.
I appreciate the trial, even though it's maybe not likely of a good feeling, but it is a moment that builds you overall to be in the version that God is trying. Well, not I'm going to say trying because God don't try, but leading you into the moment of building the version that God seeks for you to walk into, right? So you can able to be of value to others.
Yeah.
And without you going through those things, you won't be of value. It's almost like talking to a kid who has no experience about anything. They're like, yeah, if you just go up to the building. You're like, yeah, all right, okay. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, I'm telling you that you got to go down this way. And you're telling me as though you know, and you just got here, kid. Right? And it's really just that, right? The more experiences that you go through, whether they're light, good, bad, take it all in and appreciate the existence of having a physical body to be able to go through those things.
Right.
You know? Take it in, embody it, learn from it, and push the energy back out as far as in someone else going through those things and be of service in that aspect.
Yeah.
Right? And the ideas that come to you in the midst of the nights and early in the AMs, write them down. Write them down. Figure out steps on how to break them apart to attract, because I don't like saying manifestation, even though it's manifest. I like manifestation to manifest them in your experience, but I also want to say to attract the things that you need to do to draw it in, to magnetize it into your experience as well.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But it takes for you to take the effort. It takes for you to access that willpower to do that. Okay. So with that being said, stay locked in.
God vibes only.
One up, y'all. Whoa, we didn't read the last message.
Oh.
Always well said. Lock Fam Kingdom. I said and listen.
listen.
Gratitude and appreciation. I always appreciate you, bro, for taking the time to always comment on our videos and always being there. And I normally don't say support, but definitely supporting and also giving the love. I like replacing support with love, people giving love. But I'm starting to understand, like, words, you know, there's in and out, you know, it's just how you use the frequency, right? So everybody who is a Lock Fam Kingdom citizen, we appreciate you so much. For always tuning in and timing in and giving the love and sharing the likes and commenting and subscribing, all those things, man. Those
into the future.
Into the future we go.
To the future citizens, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing.
To infinity and beyond. Lock 5. Stay locked in.
They just end.
I might stay locked in. Say it.
Vibes only.
All right, what up, y'all?
To infinity and